Hello everyone. So today we are going to cover the topic of t-test. So if you haven't got your SPSS, so you have to contact JTMKUMS at 088-329-000 for SPSS installation. As we all know, t-test got three types of t-test. First is one sample t-test, second is independent sample t-test, and third is paired sample t-test. So today we are going to cover the topic of paired sample t-test. The student on Monday and Tuesday already learned for one sample t-test and also independent sample t-test. Alright, so here are the definition and how you want to use one sample t-test or independent sample t-test or also paired sample t-test. So if you know the definition of each t-test, then you can do your analysis faster. Alright, so you can pause the video and also read some of the examples stated here and you might get some idea. Alright students, so given here is a case study. Find if the SPSS training is effective for the second year students of the Faculty of Food Science and Nutrition at 5% significance level. Given here is a set of data including 10 participants from male and female, and then you will be given a pre-test and post-test score. Alright, so first step, you have to identify your null and alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis is the SPSS training is effective for the students. Meanwhile, the alternative hypothesis is the SPSS training is not effective for the students. Alright, so come to the second step. Second step is to identify if your test is a one-tail or two-tail analysis. Okay, so you have to refer back to your hypothesis. Since your hypothesis contains the word effective, so you have to use a two-tail analysis because we didn't know if this training give a positive or negative impact to the students. So that's why we use the two-tail analysis. Okay, so you just go into your SPSS and you enter the data in the variable view. Since we have 4 variables here, which are participant, gender, pre-test, and post-test. Alright, so you have to know what are the measurements for each variable. For example, participant is nominal. Gender is also nominal, so the pre-test and post-test we set it as scale. Okay, so you have to key in the value for gender. So 1 stand for male, 2 stand for female. Okay, because you already learned this during your introduction to SPSS. Once you already set all the variables, so you go to your data view and key in the data from the case study given to you. Alright, so we have participants, gender, pre-test, and also post-test. So you just key in. Alright, okay, now you already have all the data. We want to analyze the data given. So you go to analyze and click on compare means and proportion, then you click on paired sample t-test. So a small window or box will pop up like this, and then you will have to drag the pre-test to the variable number 1 and post-test to the variable number 2. Okay, and then you have to click on option and make sure your confidence interval is 95% since we are measuring at 0.05 significant level. Alright, so you just click OK right after you already set the confidence interval. Alright everyone, so this is your output. Look at the first table. Alright, so the first table you see is a pre-test and also the post-test, right? So it shows the mean value So for pre-test, it shows 79.6, while for post-test is 85.4, right? We have 10 sample, which means we have 10 participants. Okay, given from the first table is the standard deviation. Standard deviation for the pre-test is 11.8, meanwhile for the post-test is 6.9. Right, so this table, the first table is what we call as descriptive statistic. All right, so we have that. So we look at the second table. Okay, generally we will not look at the second table. So you can safely ignore the second table. So you quickly jump to the third table. It shows paired sample test, right? So the value here are very important for you to analyze if this pre-test and post-test show significant difference or not. Alright, so the first thing you have to look at is the t-value. Okay, t-value is 2.104. So you have to look at your critical value. How to check for your critical value? Go to the t-table and check at 9df, 9 degree of freedom, and at 0.05 significant level. From there, we can see that the t-value is greater than the critical, is smaller than the critical value. If it is smaller than the critical value, which means the pre-test and post-test is not significantly different. Alright, so that one is the first proof that it is not significantly different. So go to the second proof, you can look at the significant. Alright, since we are using two-tailed analysis, so our value of two-tailed analysis is 0.065. Alright, in order for you to get a significant difference, your value should be lower than 0.05. Since our value is 0.065, therefore, it is not significantly different. Right, so that one is the second proof. The third proof to see that our pre-test and post-test that does not show significant difference is to look at the 95% confidence interval of the difference. So you have to look at the lower value, and also the upper value. Right, so given here is negative 12.0 for the lower value, and then the upper value is 0.43. Right, so from here, the negative 12 until 0.4, we do not include 0, right? So if we do not include 0, which means it is not significantly different. Therefore, we can conclude that the training is not effective. It is not effective, so we have to reject the null hypothesis. Right? You have to reject the null hypothesis. Okay, so the pre-test and post-test does not show any difference. Okay, it is not significantly different. Hope you guys understand. So all the best and good luck everyone.